Orange and Blue Crew, Broncos Country, welcome. It is 1 week to the day before the 2024 NFL Draft. Oh, I am so excited. I don't know about you. I love the draft. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. I'm really hoping that the Broncos can plug some holes because, boy, are there some holes need plugging. So, tonight, just for fun, we're going to do a live 3-round, no trades mock draft here on the show. It's going to be a good time. Hope you guys came to enjoy it with us. Hope you're in the comments driving it along with us because here we go.
Nothing wrong with Orange and Blue podcast.
What's up, Broncos Country? How you doing, NRW crew? No, Orange and Blue crew, my bad. How you doing, Orange and Blue crew and Broncos Country, and welcome to the 1 week pre-draft show of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network. I am your host, Johnny Baki. With me, as always, my cousin, my childhood best friend, and a guy who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give it to him anyway, Jay, the Denver Dreamweaver. What's up, cuz?
How you doing there? I've come dressed a little more for the occasion compared to last week. I've overcome the Cousin Eddie whole routine of life. So on with the next. I just got one more. Just let me have one more.
You serious, Clark?
And now I'm done. And now I wash my hands of it. Delete.
I love it. Guys, welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network. Before we get started, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear and you haven't done it already, please give us a like, a subscribe, a share, comment. All right, you can find us on YouTube. That's where we need the subscriptions, by the way. We're on X. We're on Facebook. And anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast, you can find the audio versions of every one of our episodes, be it Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Guys, drop on in. Show us the love. We'd really appreciate you. And, of course, we would be absolutely remiss if we didn't give some love to the sponsor of tonight's show, and that would be Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend over at Dubby.gg. You guys, I am absolutely telling you, you will thank me later. Take your taste buds on a road trip, okay, with Dubby's Jitterless Energy Blend. This stuff is absolutely delicious. Comes in a multitude of wonderful flavors. But the best parts of it, it gives you the energy you need, you guys. 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine in every single drink. But absolutely no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin, no artificial fillers, no artificial colors. It's nothing but natural stuff. Amino acids, B vitamins, nootropics, and their own patented nootropic called Neurofactor that keeps you sharp and focused throughout your day, guys. Dubby has got it, man. You get your energy, but you don't get the jitters. You don't get the crash. It is epic. I use it every day at work to get me through my morning, and it helps me get through my entire day. So, guys, I'm telling you, and Jay will attest to it because he uses it too. Jump on over to Dubby.gg, get yourself a dub, and get yourself some Dubby. All right? In the checkout, make sure you punch in code NRWOB10. That's NRWOB10. At the checkout, get you 10% off your order. So, guys, thank you. And that's how you, yourself, get the dub. Jay, master of merch, would you please show us what we got this week in the merch store?
Well, the sale is gone. Last
no.
week it did expire. So, maybe
come back.
wait a little bit if you're gonna punch a ticket, if you're gonna fill your card up, because there will be promos back. There seems like there's promos all the time.
That's right.
But we got a lot of good stuff. Some polo shirts if you're gonna hit the the golf course. Some good stuff. Some summer wear. So there you go. Yeah, get your polo shirt.
Stuff. Good logos. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good high quality stuff. I myself own several polos and several T-shirts, even a muscle shirt. I love that thing. It's good high quality stuff. Doesn't fade in the wash, and it's comfortable. It breathes good. It's good stuff. So guys, click the link in the bio below to get yourself some swag and show the world that you are part of the Orange and Blue crew. So, Jay, master of merch, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say that model kind of reminds me of Benjamin Albright's cousin or brother, some sort of variation of family.
Good friend of the show there, Benjamin Albright.
Yeah, he's just got that model look to him.
The official, the bona fide Broncos insider from over at Broncos Country tonight. And what a guy. Comes off, good old Ben. He comes off so harsh sometimes on his social medias.
Yeah.
And even on the radio, he comes across as such a hard. But when you actually sit down and hang out with the guy, he is such a class act, man.
So I don't compare him. He's not the same person at all, but he's got a little bit of a DMAC effect of there are pitchfork people that absolutely can't stand him. But honestly, he's just so popular. Everybody knows him. He's a stapled good.
And if you get out, and I'm going to say this, and I am in no way plugged by Broncos Country Tonight or KOA or anybody to say these things. Ben is quite an upstanding guy, and listen, the world is constantly calling for his head on his predictions and his inside information. I'm gonna say this, okay? Having actually knowing the guy, actually talking to the guy, when he tells you something is coming, when he predicts something and gives it his, get ready because it's coming, stamp. Just listen to the guy.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, he's right, whether you like him or not, and whether you like it or not, he is.
It's true.
So there we go. There's my little rant for our dear friend Ben for tonight. I'm trying to figure out what is on your shirt. Is that a buffalo?
Yeah, that's it's Coach Prime.
Nice.
I'm sure he was reluctantly making it, but a D-line special.
I knew it was D-line. I could tell.
He's a CSU Ram. He went to Colorado State, so he hates CU, but it's a great
but
show.
He knows. I myself had a hard time figuring out whether I was going to wear the last championship T-shirt of the Avalanche or the last champion T-shirt I have for the Nuggets, considering both start the playoffs this week. But you know what? I couldn't find my Nuggets one, so I went ahead and put on my Avalanche.
You put up a great aspect of my thought process, I guess, currently, is that we're on the precipice of a Stanley Cup run and an inevitable NBA championship again, a repeat. And yet I am actually super dialed in and excited for Broncos news and Broncos events on the horizon.
Absolutely.
Monday, when we get the uniform drop, that's the beginning of the week. We're ready to go. We got some juice. Only just to wait days for this draft. In the same week. It's going to be great. What a great week for the Broncos.
Speaking of, for those joining us, which, by the way, there's nobody in the comments yet. I'm kind of shocked. That's kind of a new one for us. But it's okay. It's okay. I know you guys will get there. But I would like to say, for the draft next week, we will be live during round 1. So if you just want to hang out with us as we talk all kinds of smack, because it's going to be long, but we're going to have a fun time anyway, join us next week for our very long edition of the show as we cover the first round live. It's going to be a good time. I'm excited, Jay, getting to watch the draft with you, so to speak.
Well,
What?
I myself will be on a plane for first
Oh,
round on
yeah.
a Thursday. So I would be maybe a delayed commenter next week. But
Okay, we can call Jay a healthy scratch for round 1 next week, but that's okay. There are
Yeah.
plenty of members of the Orange and Blue crew that can join me live on the show. It's going to be fun. As you can see, I'm rocking my 2019 draft cap. That would happen to be the same draft we took Drew Lock in. You know, sad hearts or whatever you want to say, but I rock this hat every draft now because that is the draft that Isaiah and I, the other founder of the Orange and Blue Network, attended live and in person when they called Drew Lock's name, and it was one of the greatest parties I've ever been to. Dude, downtown Nashville was shut down for that draft. I don't know. I don't think another draft can really compare. It was unbelievable.
I've never been to a draft, so that's definitely on my bucket list. I'm
just saying, like, ain't no party. Like, I'm not from here.
Cool.
I just live here. Ain't no party like a Nashville party. And when Nashville shuts down for the NFL draft, it's even more epic. So it was pretty unbelievable, man. I mean, it was wild and crazy. So, I mean, when you have, like, you know, country stars coming up to the stage to call picks, I mean, that's unbelievable, man. It was cool. So that being said, it's time for us to talk Broncos. We're going to do a 3-round live, no trades. Sorry, Jay. No trades mock draft. And we're going to do it. We're going to take our time. We're going to go slow. We're going to talk about needs. We're going to talk about, you know, players that are falling to that, you know, falling at positions of need during those picks. Obviously, the Broncos don't have a 2nd-round pick, so we're really only picking 2 picks tonight. But that's okay. We're going to go through it anyway, and we're going to look at them and be like, okay, so what do we need? Now, last week, there's actually been quite a bit that's happened this week. Mm-hmm. Another interesting signing, Jay, defensive line.
That's right.
What is his name? Angelo. Oh goodness, I had it up on my phone and now I don't have it.
He played with Vance Joseph in Arizona.
Yeah. Angelo.
He's a Vance Joseph connection as opposed to, you know, our usual either Texas Longhorn or someone that's played for, you know,
Angelo Blackson. Angelo Blackson. Last played for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Was not necessarily a difference maker, really, during his tenure there. He's a 10-year veteran. We signed him to a 1-year deal. You know,
that's Mike Purcell's job, basically. In my opinion.
I mean,
like a level to that. Like basically, that means Mike Purcell is not coming back. Obviously, I know that, you know, he's always a late, you know, ad of like, well, we know you're not going anywhere, so like, if you have an injury, if we need you, we know like you'll be available. I don't know, not anything to move the needle, you know, like whatever. I mean, I guess it's depth for a position maybe you don't draft as high on your board. Like maybe that's the thought process is that you just don't need.
I mean, it could be. I would say I would disagree though. I mean, look, behind the quarterback. Personally, from everything I'm looking at right now, the biggest need besides quarterback for the Broncos is this defensive line. I mean, for crying out loud, we knew last season that we had to bolster and had to be better on the defensive line. And what happened? We brought in Zach Allen, which, I mean, I'm still excited we have Zach Allen. I still think he's got high upside. But thing is, we make some changes, and yet this team, the defensive line, absolutely underwhelmed. We were ranked 30th out of 32 at stopping the run. That is absolutely unacceptable. Teams were running. I mean, the half our games we lost because teams were running all over us.
The DJ Jones signing and like everything that we've committed to him, I don't think has been as impactful as I thought. Even though I still obviously really like him.
I do too.
But I'm just, you know, the numbers speak for themselves in that. And obviously I think that ranking you said is maybe a little inflated because of like the Miami game, just outlier things.
But still.
But we're a defense that definitely needs pass rush. I think you're totally right from an edge standpoint. We have not replaced Bradley Chubb in any sort of form.
Or Von Miller, really.
True.
And we've got
I mean, between Cooper, I personally really like Cooper.
I like Cooper. I don't dislike any of the guys in our pass rush room right now. But at the edge rush position, Baron Browning, I still think he has yet to find his stride.
Which, isn't it weird? He's going to be number 5, I think. He just switched numbers, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he went to last worn by Randy Gregory. So,
yuck.
Yuck. But Bradley Chubb wore double 5, so maybe the number will still have something for us. Maybe,
but to your point, it's been said that because of all of the quote unquote run of quarterbacks that's going to be happening in this draft, your actual valued players on your big board are going to be plentiful in our spot of the draft still. So, an edge rusher, we could get, I know Jared Verse, I think, was a guy that we saw in a lot of mock drafts for us. And then Chop someone from Penn State. Chop Robinson, maybe. I just know his first name was Chop.
His name is Chop. Okay. Well, looking at it right now, the positions of need, kind of in order of importance, I think, for the Broncos right now, obviously we need a quarterback. But here's the thing. While all of Broncos country is just pounding the table, the Broncos have to draft a quarterback. No, they freaking don't.
Well,
okay? Listen.
Well,
they don't. They probably will.
They do.
But all these people being like, if they don't trade up, I'm going to jump off a building or something. Calm down. Okay?
Yeah.
Listen, listen, okay? And I'm going to give this shout out to Benjamin Albright himself from Broncos Country tonight, last night's episode. Big shout out to Ben for what he said here, okay? Holy cow, we finally have someone in the comment stream, our dear friend D-Rock. He says, well, hello, you Broncos maniacs. Hello, my friend. I did not know you were speaking into a mirror as you said that.
Oh, my God.
It's good to see you there, D-Rock. So, I'm giving a massive, massive shout out to Ben for saying this, okay? And what he literally said was, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously. I'm not direct quoting him here. Is, Benjamin Albright grew up in the Midwest. He was talking about himself growing up in Kansas City, living through the eras where John Elway was kicking the crap out of the Chiefs forever and ever and ever. And the importance and how it works so well to build a team and then wait while you're building a team for the right quarterback to fall in your lap. And when they do, you've got the team surrounding them, and look what they do. Patrick Mahomes, that team was absolutely stacked and ready to go. They were winning with Alex Smith leading the charge. And Alex Smith is nothing to write home about. So when you inserted Pat Mahomes, they became a dynasty. Period. Sure. Okay? So I'm with Ben on that. I'm not saying don't draft a QB, but I'm also not saying trade up to 4 to go.
Let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you in that same vein, because I'm a firm believer of building the team, and then if the quarterback will come, but keep building a good team.
If you build it, they will come.
Well, but isn't there a difference between drafting, another wide receiver, but we have no quarterback for him? Like Jared Stidham is going to be his quarterback. There's something to be said about giving luxury positions, luxury spots for picks when it's unnecessarily that we're not, that's the argument against the tight end, because we're not a weapon away. Like, we have a lot of holes. And so
yes, we do.
If you're going to stay at that spot,
we have more holes right now than Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, we have more holes than Bonnie and Clyde's car. But the point is, as it stands right now, okay, let me ask you this, okay? That could be said for coaches who have never been able to develop a great quarterback, or coaches even, in my opinion, that have history. Okay, the opposite can be said for coaches who have a history of getting things done even when their quarterback isn't the greatest. Okay, sure. We have Sean Payton. Okay, like him, love him, hate him, doesn't matter. His record speaks for itself. Look at him. Look what he did with Drew Brees, who was a quarterback who for what, 3 seasons floundered with the Chargers and was probably on his way to being out of the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Sean Payton says, no, come to New Orleans. And he turns him into a first ballot Hall of Famer. Then when he leaves, Sean Payton takes Jameis Winston, who isn't even, who has struggled. And I mean,
Mr. Crab Legs himself.
Yes, struggled his entire career. And they may not have had a championship season, but they had a good run before Jameis Winston got hurt. And then Jameis Winston got hurt. Enter the guy who could get nothing done in Denver, Teddy Bridgewater, and he does the same damn thing. He knows how to scheme his team to win, even with a journeyman quarterback.
Sure.
Which is why I would be willing to run it back a season with Jarrett Stidham under center if we have to, in order to build the weapons, to build a massive autonomous weapon system out there ready to go. And then when we do have a first round pick again, which we will next season, then maybe consider. I'm not saying don't go for it if it doesn't fall to you, or if your strategy works and you can go back and like Jay, I absolutely loved the end of our show last week. Your call to trade for Brock Powers, which, by the way, or not trade, but sit at 12 and take Brock Powers at 12. Bowers.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Brock Bowers at 12. He's powerful. I'm sorry. At 12, which, by the way, a big shout out to Locked On Broncos, who made that exact same pick on the Locked On Network mock draft. By the way, I don't know if you caught that, but Locked On Network did a mock draft. I've been doing a mock draft these last couple of weeks. They're still continuing it next week, I think. But where all of the hosts of all the different Locked Ons make their pick, and Sarah Bedinger picked Brock Bowers at 12, and I was like, Jay's gonna be so happy.
Yep.
So I like that, and the idea of then maybe trading up to the end of the first round or maybe early in the second to get a guy like Bo Nix, who isn't predicted, by the way. His odds right now are minus 400 to fall below the 32nd pick.
Ooh,
so
really, it's minus money.
Minus 400. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So that's
at least that's what it was as of 6 hours ago.
That's wild. Then that's definitely not. I mean,
it's an option.
Yeah. It is.
I liked that. I liked that a lot. I'm not saying don't pick a quarterback, but what I am saying is if we do have to run it back for a season with Jarrett Stidham under center, I think we're in a rebuild. Everybody, I don't think any of us really expect us to be in playoff talks this year. Yep. If any, I mean, know me, I'm Mr. Optimistic, but call me Mr. Realist right now. I don't predict playoffs.
I think there's a world where we trade back in the first and still draft another positional player with that first round draft pick and still do what we're saying. Maybe we don't take a player at, our original spot.
Sure.
But in the sense of gaining capital to maybe go get that quarterback at the end of the first. Because we're going to be giving up next year's draft picks anyways to do that this year of what, at least what I hope, but I don't know. There's a lot of different scenarios. And then you throw in the news of what kind of package could you get with Sutton?
I mean,
that's a ticking time bomb.
Here's the thing. I don't know if it's truly a ticking time bomb or not. Okay. I mean, a lot of guys don't report to voluntary, by the way. So calm down, Broncos country. Court didn't report to voluntary training activities.
Yeah, but on the same day, a report's out about the contract. It'd be one thing if it was quiet on the front and he didn't show up. That's
maybe. I mean, I'm not saying he's not trying to get himself a bigger contract. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he won't get traded either. I don't. Now listen, I do know this. Okay, as far as trades go, this is per Ben. Okay, and this is one that no ifs, ands, or buts. Patrick Surtain is not on the table for trade. It's not going to happen. It's not happening. No, it's not happening.
The only way I think it does is for number 2 or number 3.
Even then, I mean, it's like Sean Payton knows what he needs, for his defense. You get rid of Patrick Surtain after you've already. I mean, we brought what's his name over to fill the hole left by Justin Simmons. Brandon.
From the Dolphins.
Brandon Jones.
Yeah, Brandon
We
Jones.
got Brandon Jones over to fill that hole, but I mean, Brandon Jones is good. He's still not Justin Simmons. Okay, and quite frankly, you're not going to give up your best defense. Like right now, during this rebuild, I don't think they're going to want to give up their best defensive weapon, because if your offense cannot be firing all cylinders, you at least need your defense to help you contend in some form or fashion.
Yep.
So I don't see that happening at all. And Ben straight up says that report that was out there that they'd shopped him was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know that's crazy.
He said that was absolutely erroneous, and it did not happen. There was 2 teams, San Francisco and one other, that called inquiring if he would be available, and they were told to turn around and walk back out the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So that being said, now back to our position. Let's see. Hold on. D-Rock says if JJ or any other QB, not Penix or Nix, is 12, go that route. But I like Bowers at 12. But let's be honest. Fall back, get more darts. Okay. I can see it. We'll see. Tonight, our 3-round mock draft, we're not trading. We're not doing any trades. We're picking at 12, period. So we'll just see what happens. But all right, positions of need, we've already talked about it. Quarterback, biggest one. Second, maybe unpopular, cornerback. Okay.
Yes.
Right now we got Pat Surtain, but the other side of that field is not shored up. Damari Mathis has not proven himself to be the guy. Fabian Moreau was struggling towards the end of last season. I mean, really, he was. The first half of the season, he actually looked pretty good. Then he just floundered. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what personal shit he was going through, but he floundered. And let's be honest, Riley Moss, we have not seen anything out of him yet. We don't know what he's going to be. So cornerback, someone on the other side of Pat Surtain to close off the other half of the field, that's another absolute need. Okay. Then, of course, pass rush, like you already said, Jay, very important. I mean, Nick Bonito, he's looked okay. But I don't foresee him ever really fitting into a starting role at that position.
It would make Pat Surtain way better. It would make the defense way better. But I still contest the most potent pass rush is playing with a lead. And that is something the defense has no part of. Like,
nope.
At the end of the day. So,
and then obviously, and this one I might actually put as high as the need for cornerback as opposed to below, but defensive line, period. We need to shore up the defensive line. And I mean, just put some big bodies, some big athletic, strong bodies in there and let them go to town. Because our interior pass rush is a joke, and our ability to stop the run on the inside has been non-existent. So defensively, we absolutely have to address the defensive line at some point in this draft. It has to happen.
Yeah.
We let Alec. We need inside linebacker. I mean, Josie's gone.
Josie is gone.
Makes me sad.
Barton, I believe we got from Philadelphia.
Yeah. We got Alex. We still have Alex. We still have Alex Singleton.
I mean,
but he was a Band-Aid to begin with.
That's certainly not something you're going to be drafting in the first round, unless you're looking at a Micah Parsons or some, transition.
But I'm just talking talent, I'm just ranking the needs that we have.
Sure.
Obviously, this one's kind of funny. Offensive tackle.
Oh, 100%. That's where I have it, because if we stay at 12 and Bowers is gone, and maybe the first pass rusher is already off the board, and we're left with kind of slim pickings for trading back, I can totally see that being an offensive tackle.
Maybe go after what's his name, Mims. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Alt. I really have heard big things about Alt from Notre Dame. But honestly, it doesn't much matter. As long as it's not a guard. I know we don't have any room for a guard unless they can play center. But Powers, we just spent tons of money on Ben Powers. And then, obviously the belly. So like,
And we got Quinn Miners, which brings me to another position. At tackle, offensive tackle, of course, we still have Garrett Bowles for now.
Yeah.
We still have Mike McGlinchey, which, I mean, who knows if Mike McGlinchey can stay healthy, how this will look the rest, for a whole season. We'll see. But I still think we need to address it. And
one thing that I'd like to just pass real quick that I had a thought the other day. We gave all this money to McGlinchey, right? Which is kind of a rarity for a right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
What if we draft Michael Penix Jr., a lefty, and that right tackle suddenly becomes the blind side, and it makes all the sense in the world to overpay for a right tackle?
It's a good point. It's a good point. And then of course center. It's iffy right now. We've lost Cushenberry. He's gone. Bye. We've got Alex Forsythe. We don't know what we've got in Forsythe yet.
I mean,
for real.
The jury's still out. It's the same thing as Riley Moss.
Now we went and signed somebody. Crap.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Again, another body. Someone
that's
going to be a third string no matter what.
Yeah. So I mean, who knows? Maybe go for a center, because you remember a few years ago in the draft, I was pounding the table for us to go get a center.
Yeah.
In the first round. Do you remember that? And everybody called me crazy. And I'm like, no, think about it. Think about how important that position is to the quarterback.
I just, center and guard are just not something that you should, in my opinion, really ever spend huge draft capital on. Second rounders fine and whatnot, but like first 15 picks, probably not.
I'm just saying, listen, there have been centers taken early in the first round in the past, and the ones that have gone on to lead Hall of Fame careers. I'm not saying we should, but what I am saying is that is a position that is way undervalued, in my opinion, because that's the guy who handles the ball before it goes to the quarterback. And that's also the guy that, as soon as he does that, has to protect the quarterback from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very undervalued and very underrated. It's a very underrated position. And if you had a strong body who was a good snapper up there, I'm just saying, man, it could change the way that this team plays, having that protection right in the middle.
Yep.
Especially between two guys like Powers and Miners.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying do it, but I'm saying it's a need. Last few that are needs for us right now, Brock Bowers, you've already talked about it, tight end.
Yeah.
That room has just been a revolving door over the last few years. We need to get a playmaker solidified in there. We also need to, wide receiver. I mean, obviously, we've got some wide receivers. We've got Mims. We've got, Lil Jordan Humphrey. Right, on paper we have Sutton, but we let Jerry Jeudy go. I'm not that sad about it, but we definitely need some bodies in that room.
Josh Reynolds will do more than Jerry Jeudy has in the past 2 years, just this next year in overall value.
Absolutely,
what he brings.
But that doesn't mean I don't.
About that at all.
I also still think that doesn't mean that we doesn't need to be addressed in the draft, possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the premium round, but in rounds 4 and 5, maybe. Look at.
You got to remember, we got Timmy P coming back.
We do.
P 100%.
And the last one that it's not as sexy, and I definitely would not be calling for the Broncos to draft early in the first round, is running back.
That was what I was waiting for you to say, honestly, because I think that's probably a little higher on my board than what you would expect.
See, because I believe, as a former running back myself, I am the firm belief that some of the best running backs in history have gone in the late rounds and even out of undrafted free agency. It's a position that, in my opinion, you don't need to spend big capital on unless the guy is literally going to be the next face of your franchise.
Well, I just think in the Sean Payton scheme, the Alvin Kamara role has still not been solved. And we tried to do it with Samaje Perine, that old fart that is not a burner. Samaje Perine's great and all, but he's a backup guy just getting some extra carries on a team. He's not a Alvin Kamara. That we still, Pookie's great and everything, but Pookie ain't a burner either.
And we still have Pookie. But the thing is, kind of like how Cortland Sutton was, he had his 2019 season, then he got hurt, and then it took 2-3 seasons for him to return to form. Pookie did not return to form after coming back from his injury. Now, that's not to say he can't, but we need him. We need to see him do it. So those are our positions of need. So going into this 3-round mock draft with that knowledge, what do you say we do it? And we just kind of talk about some of these players in the draft, considering these mock drafts nowadays, these simulators are pretty accurate as to who falls where, generally speaking. Yep. So we might be able to talk about a few that are really important, that might end up being important to us come draft day next Thursday, a week from today, bro. Crazy. Can't believe it's already here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do a 3-round mock draft. All right. So we will be using today the ESPN mock draft simulator. All right. So the first 10 picks are why is that up there? Hold on. Okay. The first 10 picks go as follows. It will be the Bears, Commanders, Patriots, Cardinals, Chargers, Giants, Titans, Falcons, Bears, Jets, Vikings, then the Broncos. All right, after that, who cares? I'm just kidding. But we will get to that in a minute. So what we're going to do, we're going to start our draft. I believe I've got it set to kind of pick a little bit slow so we can kind of watch them tick off as they go. And hopefully somebody that we like falls to us at 12. What do you think, Jay? You ready?
I hope.
All right, let's boogie. So starting the draft now, the Bears take Caleb Williams. Not a big shock. Drake May goes second to the Commanders.
Ooh, pause that real quick. Malik Neighbors to number 3.
Yeah. Right now, some big boards. Hang on, let me take this down for just a second. Right now, Malik Neighbors, the wide receiver, has actually climbed on a lot of the big boards this week.
Hold the phone. And you got the Raiders coming up?
Yeah, the Raiders moved up to 4. I'm not sure what trade they made there. But they got Jaden Daniels, which is what they want. I know. In fact, I've heard a Las Vegas insider talking about their desire for Jaden Daniels. Okay. It is what it is. I'm not terribly...
I'm floored that Drake May is number 2 as well. Just an observation.
That one's kind of shocking. D-Rock popping in saying Court is acting like 1,000+ yard wide receiver. Know your role, jabroni. I love it, jabroni. Somebody likes the Rock a lot. So anyway, Raiders took Jaden Daniels at number 4. Number 5, there goes J.J. McCarthy, my favorite quarterback in this draft for the Broncos, goes to the Giants.
Oh my gosh. Do you know what that would mean, Johnny? Is the Giants would have a quarterback room of Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, and J.J. McCarthy. Picture those 3 in a room.
That's kind of scary, actually.
That is.
The number 1 wide receiver on most people's big boards, Marvin Harrison Jr., is going to the Chargers at 6. That's where the shock is. Malik Neighbors went above Marvin Harrison Jr. in this one. I'm actually quite shocked.
Yeah.
The Titans definitely fill a position of need at offensive tackle with your favorite there, Joe Alt. The number 8, the Falcons took Rome Odunze, the wide receiver. Is he out of Washington?
Yep. Super good. He's good. A star.
He will. Yes, he will. The Bears take Dallas Turner.
First pass rusher off the board.
Yep. First one. The Jets take J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle out of, I can't remember where J.C.'s coming from.
That makes total sense. They'd be dumb, in my opinion, to pick Bowers, to pick a wide receiver. Like, you need to protect the skeleton that is Rodgers. So the Jets, that makes total sense to them.
I love it. And it's true. It's totally true. Okay, and then the Vikings take your pick at tight end. Brock Bowers goes at 11, right before. We got highway robbed on that one, cuz.
Yeah, that is brutal. And they already have TJ Hawkinson. So what are they doing? Those dillweeds.
I mean, though, imagine a tight end room with Brock Bowers and Hawkinson together.
Yeah.
You imagine like a 2 tight end set, one on either side. You have no idea what they're doing.
It's interesting.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You would have no clue what they were doing.
Very odd. Very
All
odd.
right. So it's time for us to make a pick. So let's look at the board. Where we are right now, positions of need for us. Obviously, we've already said it. We need a cornerback. We need defensive line help. Those are probably the bigger ones. I don't think there's a quarterback still on the board that I'd be comfortable taking at 12 right now. Would you?
100%. This is my worst case scenario right here.
Because right now, quarterback, Bo Nix is the next ranked QB in this draft.
I don't want any 3 of those, and those are the only 3 that I will even think about in this draft. Is Spencer Rattler, Penix, and Nix. I don't want anything below that.
And I won't take any of those 3 at 12. Especially when you consider their ranking. Honestly, I think, like I said, right now, Bo Nix, the top of these 3, he's the top one, right?
Yeah.
And even he right now is minus 400 odds for dropping to the second round.
Yeah.
So
ain't gonna happen. No way, Jose. Happen. This would be my perfect scenario to drop down and trade down if we can. Honestly. Now
we're not. So what we're looking at, what we need to look at here is our positions of need, right? And we've already said we need a cornerback, and I honestly think solidifying the other side of the field opposite Pat Surtain is very important. But we need help on the defensive line, big time. Defensive end, right? To maybe fill that hole there. Maybe let DJ Jones move over to nose. I don't know what you're thinking, Jay, but what do you think of any of these guys? What position should we look at real quick? First?
So can you go to wide receiver real quick? I just kind of want to see where that.
Yes, here we go. Wide receiver. We got Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU,
which I have heard massive things. He is a high riser as far as stock right now. Neighbors is great, but I've heard tons about Brian Thomas Jr. So obviously that's still I wouldn't spend number 12 on him. I don't think, but watch out for him. He's going to be a riser.
He'll be a star. And then you got Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. I watched him play. He was pretty
Speedster,
good.
Right?
He's fast.
He's crazy fast.
Yeah. Hang on. I may have just screwed up our picks here. No, I didn't. Okay. Whew. That was close, bud.
What's another position group that you're interested in?
Obviously, cornerback. So let's look at there. You got Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo. This kid is unbelievable.
He's supposed to be the bee's knees, but Toledo.
Well, okay. First of all, when Toledo played against oh God, Marvin Harrison Jr. Anyway, this is a guy. Yeah, this is a guy who was running step for step with Marvin Harrison Jr. and shutting him down. Okay, so he's special. He will do amazing things. Do I think he's Patrick Surtain the second or the third? No.
I think Terrion Arnold, in my opinion, is the more safe bet in that split between those two. Sure. Mitchell's great. Mitchell's the raw talent that could do some things, but Arnold's an Alabama cornerback, i.e. Surtain.
They're the best ones. They're the best cornerbacks come out of Alabama. Period. Another position we can look at. Where's my defense? Let's look at defensive end. We've already said Jared Verse out of Florida State. I don't know as much about this one individually. He's pretty good, but he's not 12.
He's good. We've had a lot of mocks to him.
Yes, we have.
We have been connected to him a lot.
But I don't know if I'm really ready to spend my 12th overall pick on a defensive end.
That's just me too. He is a Chubb guy though. He would be the exact role of what Chubb was in a run blocking, or in a run protection aspect of a line.
Which, by the way, Jay, if anybody drops comments, could you just please pull those up because I can't see.
Yep.
Right, since I have the mock draft simulator up, I can't really see our StreamYard.
D-Rock really likes verse, from worst to first with verse.
Wow, I mean, that's a thing. I personally know a lot about Darius Robinson out of Missouri because Mizzou.
Yeah.
Hell of a defensive end. He's pretty athletic. And he's got good hands. He's got really good hands. Good tackler. But sometimes I think he overcommits sometimes, and that scares me. He gets moving and he overcommits, and that's how you miss tackles. Even though he's a good tackler, when he gets them wrapped up, he wraps them up good. But when you overcommit, you both miss tackles, and you also open yourself up to injure other players and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little more nervous going there. Where else, Jay? What should we look at with our 12th overall pick? What other position of need?
Do outside linebacker, because I think there's a,
here we go.
Again, a kind of a difference of pass rush. Latu is another. There's Chop. There's my boy Chop.
There's Chop Robinson and State.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of smoke around Chop. I think he is a very versatile just threat. He's a guy that can move around. He can play inside, outside. He's just very versatile. He's a game wrecker, and you can never have enough game wreckers. I don't know, but I'm just, I'm still on the fence of I think I would rather go cornerback than pass rusher, in my opinion, at this slot, just for the value that you're getting for it right now. And the only reason I say that too is because that also gives you a security blanket. If even next year we need to trade PS2 for a quarterback, it gives you a little more security blanket in that position to say, all right, you're on your last year of the contract, PS2, and we need to get some value out of you instead of just letting you go for nothing. I don't know.
I still think it's going to happen. I really don't, but that's okay. All right, so where we stand right now, is there any other positions you want to look at?
I don't think so.
All right, so let's talk about it and let's figure out where we fall. What position do we think is the best value at this 12th overall pick for us right now? Personally, I honestly think that it falls to cornerback.
Yeah.
And I would definitely in that situation, and this will probably get me crucified, just like when the Broncos picked Pat Surtain II instead of taking Justin Fields.
Yep.
But with the 12th overall, I would actually be comfortable taking Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. What say you? Is there someone that you think is better value for us right now?
No. Position, I agree with you. I think, again, we could make the toss-up of him or Arnold. I'd probably lean closer towards Arnold. But
okay, then why don't we meet in the middle?
It's the exact same thing.
Why don't we go ahead and meet in the middle, okay? I said cornerback. You said take Terry and Arnold.
Okay.
So let's take it.
For two Alabama cornerbacks to be, front in your secondary, that's nuts. And then you have all Longhorns in the safeties. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on. I'm having trouble getting this to make my pick. I'm not sure why. What is going on here? I don't. Oh, there we go.
Draft player.
Okay, all the way at the bottom. My B, y'all. My B. Okay, we're drafting the Denver Broncos with the 12th overall pick of the 2024 Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue mock draft. Take Terry and Arnold, cornerback, Alabama.
That's super unsexy, and Broncos Country will not like that. But
they will not like that. But you know what? It's not about being sexy, okay? It's not about being sexy. It's about...
And for what it's worth, he was ranked 12.
Yeah, it's about building a strong team. That's what this is about right now. We didn't get a quarterback, a top 5 quarterback. Okay, we did not get the tight end that we really wanted. So now let's continue to make this defense. Let's make this defense so strong that other teams absolutely hate playing the Denver Broncos because all they do is get whooped up on.
Oh, there goes Michael Penix Jr. to the Steelers.
Yeah, we'll get. We're gonna go back through it here in just a minute.
Wow, Chop goes all the way to 28 to the Bills.
Yep.
And then Cooper.
Yep.
That's a guy I've had my eye on as well. There's Kool-Aid as well.
That's such a fun name.
It is.
I mean, whatever team he goes to, they better immediately make a T-shirt that says, "Oh yeah," like.
For what it's worth, I don't think I have seen Bo Nix.
I don't think I have either, but we'll go back through it real quick.
Oh, there's Corley falling all the way to the end of the second. Wowzers.
All right, the Broncos picking the third, so we should be getting up to our pick here soon. There it is, number 76.
Sweat drops all the way to the third. Vontez Sweat is another.
All right, so let's roll back up on round one. Let's see what notable names came off the board during the roundup of round one. So obviously we chose Terry and Arnold. The Cardinals then selected Byron Murphy the second. That's a good pick for them.
It is.
That
is a good
heavy
pick.
need of a defensive tackle. Jared Verse, who our boy D-Rock was screaming to the rafters about him a moment ago. He ended up going to the Saints. Bo Nix went to the Seahawks at 16.
16. Oh man.
Ooh, we may not be. I mean, based on this, we're not getting. If we pick at 12, we're not getting our quarterback. Let's see. Michael Penix Jr. went off the board to the Steelers at 20. Xavier Worthy went to wide receiver. He went to the Eagles at 22. That's another big pickup.
Can I say something that's really going to chap you? But it makes total sense. And I've already said it once, and you didn't like it. But
all right, say it.
Michael Penix Jr. to the Pittsburgh Steelers actually makes a lot of sense.
No, it does.
But that would mean that Russell Wilson is not on that roster week one, which is a total possibility. Like that Russell Wilson is not on the Pittsburgh Steelers week one.
But bear in mind, and this is where it hurts me in my heart hole area. If Russ sits, it's not costing the Steelers a damn thing.
Yeah. I mean,
it's costing us everything.
Yeah.
I mean, what did the Steelers give him this season? $500,000?
Yeah, I was going to say $1 million, maybe.
Something like that? Yeah, the Broncos are paying his entire salary for this season.
Yeah.
So, if they sit him, it sucks for Russ. But the person that it really sucks for is the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Nate Wiggins Jr., the cornerback, he went to the Cowboys. Amarius Mims. I did not foresee Mims, the offensive tackle, falling to 27.
Yeah.
Kind of shocked there. Almost makes me wish I'd taken him at 12. The fact that he went, or not taking him at 12, that I could trade back to get him in the late 20s.
Well, and I mean, look at right after him, Chop Robinson.
Yep, there's your 28. Yep. All right, so moving on. You said it, Cooper DeJean. He went to the Chiefs. Oh God,
that would be terrible. And yeah, that would be brutal. Our friend Nick Kendall would hate that. I would imagine because he's he's
big on Cooper
guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be painful. Adonai Mitchell went to the Panthers. Let's see, Kool-Aid McKinstry. He went to the cornerback. Went to the Chargers. That would actually be that would be good for them. I think he's a bit underrated in this draft, honestly. So for him to fall, fall to them at 37, I think the Chargers get a good pick there. Let's see. I'm not seeing any other really notable names.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brooks, the running back, he falls to 47 and goes to the Giants.
Interesting.
Very shocking.
Well, Saquon Barkley's gone. So
I'm more shocked that Jonathan Brooks fell to 47.
Yeah, I mean, it's about right for that's where we took Pookie around. So
yeah,
it's
but
kind
I
of one of those
honestly,
spots where your
after
top running
watching
backs start
Jonathan,
falling.
yeah, but it only shocks me because after watching Jonathan Brooks play last season, I actually would have expected him to be like that one outlier running back that went in at the end of the first round.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could see that.
Let's see. I'm not seeing anybody else. Anybody else major
Makai
coming off?
Corley,
Oh yeah, Malachi
Malachi
Corley
Corley. Yeah, I've heard a lot of really good things about him.
goes to the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, again, to replace Diggs, that would make total sense. They have
It
a
would,
need.
but I don't think the one thing I will say, I don't think Malachi Corley is ready to be Stephon Diggs in his rookie season.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
He'll be a developmental kind of player.
So let me ask you this as we're done with the second round there.
Sure.
All of the players that fell in that second round, are you that upset we don't have a second rounder in the retrospect of those type of players that fell or didn't fall? Like, who would you be willing to trade up to get a second rounder for that fell in that second round out of that whole list?
It makes me sad to say it because he's a friend. I know him personally. I would package Garrett Bowles with a pick, with at least one pick at least one pick from this season and maybe two from next.
Yeah.
To move up into the second. I hate to say it. He's a good dude. Know him personally and love him to death. But I am not trading Pat Surtain, period. And I think the guy that gives you your next biggest, that one saves you the most money and also gets you the most value right now would be Garrett Bowles.
Yeah.
So
there's no quarterback, at least in this draft, with Penix and Bo Nix going in the first.
Yep.
There's no real movement to make in the second for like an earth-shattering, quarterback move. I guess that's where I was getting at.
No, there isn't. And you're gonna need even though you're gonna need someone to protect him, your quarterback. Without a earth-shattering move made for a quarterback, and the Broncos not having one of those guys, I'd be okay running it. I'd be okay packaging our left tackle and sending our left tackle, sending him away, and going and signing a journeyman, or maybe not a journeyman, but a veteran offensive tackle or something to a 1-year contract.
Sure.
In order to save save money in the long run, and two, get us some capital for this season.
For a tackle as deep as I'm hearing this tackle class is, that makes sense for going to get someone in the second.
Absolutely.
But I think as we turn the page here for this third rounder, this is a no-brainer.
Spencer Rattler is still on the board.
There it is. That is it. That is my no-brainer.
I mean, there's literally nobody else, no other quarterback on that board I would take in this draft.
That's my guy. And honestly, I think that's our guy. If he falls this way, perfect, but I don't think he will. I think he'll be a second-round draft pick by somebody. He was a Oklahoma Sooner. He was supposed to be
he entered the
guy.
The transfer portal, right?
The Heisman guy after Baker, Kyler, like after the whole string of Heisman Oklahoma quarterbacks. I mean, he was supposed to be next up. He was like a very highly recruited quarterback. And
I think he was a 4-star recruit.
Yeah.
That I recall.
Has potential.
I mean, and he has great potential. The real question is he the guy? I mean, I'm asking, like, legitimately, is he the guy? To lead the Broncos into the future. I'm going to find his stats here real quick. We can go over them and then we can talk a few other positions in need just to say that we did our due diligence on this pick. But Spencer Rattler, I mean, his overall grade on PFF is a 77.6. Not that sexy.
Well, as the third round pick 76.
Yeah, not bad. He's got he played 12 games in 2023, 13 in 2022. He had in 2023, he had 274 completions for 403 attempts. So a little over 500 there. So that's pretty good.
I guess
68%.
I would take a flyer on him and see what you got out of him compared to not drafting him, punting on drafting a quarterback at all in this draft, because I feel like by the time we pick again in like the 4th round,
Rattler will not going to be anybody worth taking on the board.
So that compared to turning it back with Stidham or signing Ryan Tannehill at the end of this draft.
Oh God, don't even joke. Oh,
I've heard that done out though, that after the draft, if we don't get a quarterback, Ryan Tannehill could very well be coming to Denver on a 1 year. Like that's a real thing.
All right, so we went cornerback in the 1st round. Now we're in the 3rd. We have a top 6 quarterback.
What other positions do you want to look at though? Like just to cover our bases.
For the 3rd round, I'd say look at offensive tackle. Okay. Is there anybody Dominic I can't remember if it's Puney or Punai. But he from the Jayhawks. He's a decent offensive tackle, but he's definitely going to need some developing.
Yeah.
He's also going to have to put on some size.
I mean, he's a 71 ranking versus that Rattler pick that would have been 77, I believe. Yeah. That's not that big of difference. And quarterback, I would trump from a positional value far greater than a tackle, at least to that. So I'd need to see more value in a ranking, I think.
I'd say let's look at our outside linebackers. The top one on the board right now is Jonas Ellis out of Utah. I don't know much about him. In fact, I honestly cannot say I know much about any of these guys right here on the board, and I don't have the time right now on our show to sit here and research them all. So I say that
check out wide receiver quick.
Wide receiver, sure. Brendan Rice, USC,
former CU Buff.
Yes, he is, and he did some. He had some pretty impressive play at USC.
He did. He did.
With one Caleb Williams throwing for him. He had. So I mean, it'd be an okay pick, but I still don't think that that's going to trump the need of a quarterback.
I agree, 100%. 100%.
Any other positions you want to look at, Jay, before we make what I feel like is going to be our inevitable decision?
Just real quickly, let's look at the tight end because I still think that's something we have to look at.
Jatavian Sanders.
That is Tywai's guy.
Yes, it
Tywai's
is.
been banging the drum for him. Sanders, tight end out of Texas for quite some time, and look at that ranking is 66.
Yeah, let me pull up his stats.
Tywai has said that for quite some time. I remember. That's crazy that he's still available at that slot.
Yeah, I'm having trouble finding him here on the big, at least on PFF's big board. Let me see here. Hang on, I'm gonna search him by position.
Still, you would rather have a quarterback than a tight end and just a positional value type of sense, right?
Wow. Here's the thing. Jatavian, we really wanted Brock Bowers, right? We didn't get him. Jatavian Sanders by PFF is the second highest ranked tight end in this draft.
See, dude, and I'm floored. He is here in the 3rd. I feel like if we didn't need a quarterback so damn bad, this would be a real good pick for us. Real steal.
He's a former 5-star recruit. Looks like a supersized athlete.
Yeah.
Let's see. Consistent vertical threat and a mismatch for most linebackers in coverage. He has reliable hands and did not drop a single pass in 2023.
Dude. He's a beast. He's going to be great.
He has explosive movement that allows him to run routes like a receiver. And if he was, and they said, and on PFF in their analysis, they said if he wasn't on a team that also included Adonai Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, and Jordan Whittington, he could have easily been a 1,000-yard receiver. He possesses all the tools to be an impact blocker as well. So he possesses the tools, which means to me he's not developed yet as a blocker.
Yeah.
Tate, let's see. He lacks the necessary blocking physicality against smaller players.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. So my top two for this is all offense. It's either we go Spencer Rattler and get ourselves, hopefully, the quarterback we can develop and make the QB of our future, or a weapon for whoever's going to be our quarterback here this year, and hopefully our quarterback of the future that we get later in maybe in a future draft in Jatavian Sanders. What do you think?
Dude, man, I really want Sanders, to be quite honest with you, because I just don't trust Greg Dulcich at all.
To stay healthy anyway.
And I just, I know how important that position is to this offense. That's why I was a Bowers guy. Obviously, Bowers is a freak, but just the role that he would have in this scheme would just be amazing.
I agree. It's scary, though. I mean, now I'm sitting here looking at it. And granted, it's just a mock draft. This isn't real. And the odds that Spencer Rattler or Jatavian Sanders fall to the Broncos at the 76th overall pick is low. Yeah. But while we're sitting here and we have a chance to choose between the two right now, I'm feeling the stress levels climb a little bit. Jay?
Is there another position you want to cross-reference?
Not particularly, not at this point. I feel like, we could look at the defensive line, but I feel like at this point, I'd much rather tackle the defensive line position in like the 4th and 5th rounds.
In your positional button there, is there an all positions to look at just the overall rankings of all?
Right here. Cedric Gray, inside linebacker. So that's a position of need for us. We do need an inside linebacker. I can pull up his stuff here real quick. Let me.
As I'm looking at the others as safety, cornerback, you got a defensive end, but you're not too far off of like Sanders being best player available. You really aren't. I just wanted to get a reference of like what the best value player would be still out there. Cedric Gray would probably be a pretty good pick, but other than that, I wouldn't do it on a DT. I wouldn't do it on a CB because we have a first-round cornerback. Same thing with safeties. We're all good on that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Let's see. Cedric Gray. Overall, Cedric Gray out of Carolina. He has a overall grade on PFF of 74.
Worse than here.
Yeah, definitely. He played 12 games in 2023 with 880 defensive snaps. Pass rush snaps, he took 100. Run defense snaps, he took 401, and coverage snaps, he took 379. So he's not much of. So I don't know if he's not much of a coverage guy.
Yeah. Sounds like makes sense why he's still here.
He got 80 tackles on the season, 31 assisted tackles, and he missed 19.
I'm good. You've said enough where like, I get why he's still here.
Let's get the first look at this guy. Oh, there is no first look for this guy. So
I was going to say, you scroll down, and other than your scroll down, I think I'm clued into Sanders or Rattler. Like, I don't really see. Yeah, there's Sanders right there, man. Boy, he's
right up there, up high. So what do we do here? Do we go Jatavian Sanders or do we go Spencer Rattler? That's the real question right here.
Here's what I think. If the Broncos are presented with this exact scenario, I think Sean Payton's arrogance and ego will take over, and he'll pick Rattler. I totally think Rattler could be a guy that we pick. I really believe that.
Spencer Rattler is a perfect Sean Payton guy.
He is. I totally
right
see that pairing. I can see it now.
I can too.
It's just, where is it? Where in the draft? Like, where's a reach?
Well, right now, if you look at ESPN's ranking on Rattler, he's at 99. The Broncos are picking at 76. Don't remember where our round 4 pick is.
But again, we can make that happen, but will he be around, because we have, I think, two fourths and like 2/5 or something like that.
Hang
we
on,
have ammo in that range.
Hang on, let's look real quick. I'm pulling it up right now. Broncos 2024 draft picks. Okay, round 4, pick 121 is our next pick. So that's the thing. We only have 1/4. We have 3 5th rounds and 2 6th.
Holy cow! Yeah, I'm seeing that too. So
thinking about that right now, Rattler is rated at 99.
Okay.
At least on this ESPN big board.
And so, why play with your food? If you're the Broncos, you pick Rattler right here. Keith Brugman from, I really, really like, I like the urgency I think Keith is coming from of Rattler, please. It makes me nervous, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Real nervous.
I answered Keith's request there to click our team picks because I don't think he was on when we picked Terry and Arnold.
Yes.
To solidify the the defensive back 7.
And Keith, I also said that is a terrific positional aspect because it gives us flexibility to trade PS2 if we have to. Even next year's draft to get a quarterback. Like that's the guy that if we trade, we're going to trade.
Right. So and our good friend Keith, the man with the second best beard in Broncos country. Hey, it's growing back. It's growing back.
Weird.
I'm the Mile High Viking, damn it. Anyway, but we Keith is screaming at us to please pick Spencer Rattler.
I feel like we need to appease Keith because I just I believe in Spencer Rattler. I really would give him a shot in the scenario that Nix and Penix are gone. And that just fell through. Why not take a card? How many third rounders have epically failed that we have drafted? And I will gladly give a flyer to a quarterback to just see what we have.
I mean, Sean Payton is a quarterback developer. He's a quarterback whisperer. And what's one thing the Broncos have never really had in their quiver, so to speak, and that's developing quarterbacks.
Yeah.
At least not in the last 30 years. Really. Let's just be honest. So
I'm still saying I'd take Spencer Rattler.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Now we have a head coach. So. Now we have a head coach who is considered one of the best quarterback developers of all time.
Yeah. So
why not give him someone raw, which Spencer Rattler is definitely raw.
See,
give him someone.
You're totally right. Rattler did.
He was once considered top 2 pick, but it's been a while since that's been the case.
Yeah, but he was supposed to be the guy at Oklahoma. He had every intention of being top 2 pick, but like a top 10 pick, certainly a first rounder. He had that ceiling to him.
So are we saying it? Are we saying it officially? We pass on the tight end, the superstar tight end, and we go for Spencer Rattler.
I want Sanders so bad, but
I do too. But you can't have your
logical answer. The logical answer is Spencer Rattler, right here.
Absolutely. So there it is. With the 76th overall pick in the 2024 Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue 3-round live mock draft, the Denver Broncos pick Spencer Rattler, quarterback, South Carolina.
And the marketing right after will be like, the future?
Now let's see it. There he goes. There goes Jatavian Sanders to the Falcons.
Falcons? Oh, and they double up with Kyle Pitts and him? That would be scary.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, that is scary.
Makes me sick.
You make me nauseous. All right.
Have we seen...
That That does it for us in the top in the first three for a 3-round pick. 3-round. Let's see what we got here. Right. Wow. Look at this. Right now, look at this. They are the ESPN is rating the chances of the Broncos getting Terrion Arnold at 12 as a 91% in the actual draft. It's the same for the Broncos getting the Spencer Rattler at 76.
That's chance available, meaning that we probably reached. Like
no. It's saying the chance that it is that this person will be available at the time that we pick.
Correct.
Is 91%, dude.
I'm
not. That's
sure
pretty.
Wanted us to go the Toledo kid, because I want to say he was ranked 10.
Yeah.
Compared to the 12.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Keith comes in saying, "Woo woo, we got a Rattler in Mile High." Oh, dude, I swear to God, if somehow Spencer Rattler falls to the Broncos or whatever, and we end up with him, first thing I'm doing is getting a custom T-shirt made of "There's a snake in my boot."
Somewhere Jake Plummer with his mushroom-filled mouth is smiling if we get Spencer Rattler.
Hey, listen, I'm totally okay with that. All right.
Jake the Snake.
Now, let me see real quick. Where did we took Terrion Arnold? Where did the kid from Toledo go? Who picked after the Broncos in the first round?
Boy,
I don't remember. Oh, crap. Anyway, you know what? At those odds, if the odds are that are accurate, and I'm not saying they are, because anything can happen on draft day, right?
Yeah.
But if the odds of Spencer Rattler being available at the 76th overall pick is 91%, I'm not as nervous about the idea of waiting until our third round or trading up into our second round for a quarterback.
Let's just say, though, that it comes down to that Bo Nix and Penix do go earlier than we anticipated in the 20s of the first round. Like, you can't really wait till the very bottom,
right.
I just kind of feel like that's a situation where I illustrated, like, well, you're going to have to do that to get either of those two, that they wouldn't fall to the second round, like what we think that we would be able to get them.
Well, I mean, like I said,
discount.
Vegas odds still have minus 400 odds on Bo Nix falling below the 32nd pick. So, I mean, Vegas odds have negative money on him going to the second round.
Sure.
So I'm not saying he will, but what I am saying is, after all of this, and I'm going to do some more mock drafting over the next week just to get a feel. But I'm going to see how many times someone like Spencer Rattler or Bo Nix or Michael Penix falls to the second and third rounds. I don't foresee Bo Nix or Michael Penix for sure going past the second round. I don't. But if Spencer Rattler it was possible for him to fall to the third a bunch of times in mock drafting, and right now, as we saw on our own draft here, at the end of our own draft, the ESPN puts the odds of him being available at the 76th overall pick at 91%. Dude, that 90% odds is good odds, man. I mean, if I was to come to you right now, Jay, with your betting prowess and say to you, "Hey, Jay, on the odds of this team winning are 91%, are you going to take that bet?"
I am. I just, I think we more so use this exercise as a positional group ranking.
Sure.
I think
absolutely.
In a lot of things. And I'm very actually really disappointed to see as many quarterbacks go in the first where they did, because where I have them ranked compared to where they actually fell. And that kind of falls into what Keith's comment here is just the overall rankings of the quarterbacks. Like I was very floored to see in first round that, Drake May went number 2 to the Washington Commanders I have Jaden Daniels going number 2 easily. I have Drake May potentially falling down. And
Right.
I can totally see Minnesota trading up for like a Drake May, and JJ McCarthy's going to fall to us. I don't know. I think this was an interesting sim.
So, Keith, when you say you would love to hear our ranking of the top quarterbacks in this draft, do you mean overall, or do you mean for the Broncos? Like, if the Broncos had a chance to pick any one of these guys, who would I take?
Who would be best for us?
Because when I say there's a difference, there is a difference for me. I can say overall this guy's the best, but he's not who I would pick.
Drake May would be a nightmare for Sean Payton. That would never work. Never.
That would never work. And I'm sorry. And Caleb Williams, after he refused a physical at the combine.
Well,
now, listen. I'm a you know me. I am a medical person.
But he didn't.
I'm a combat medic.
He just refused physicals from like the Chiefs that obviously weren't going to draft him.
That doesn't matter. At the combine, dude, that's the overall. Everybody's looking at you at the combine, not just one team. To refuse that physical, what the hell are you hiding? What are you hiding? There's something. The only reason, because it's so simple, a physical is so simple, dude. The only reason to refuse it is because you're hiding something.
Caleb Williams is going to be a Pro Bowler for the next 10 years.
Sure. But I'd hate to find out. I'm just saying, like, if you refuse to take a physical, there's something hiding there, and I don't want to be the team that gets to find out what it is.
So I want to answer Keith's question real quick. I've obviously got Caleb Williams. Number 2, I got Jalen Daniels. Number 3, I have Drake May, but he is actually a lot closer to a Bo Nix Penix than what people would think. I'm not a huge Drake May person. I could totally see in the right situation JJ McCarthy absolutely going before Drake May. I think JJ McCarthy will be probably the 3rd quarterback, in my opinion.
Okay.
Or they'll be very close.
Sure.
But then do you have Bo Nix and Penix being first-round draft picks, Johnny?
No, I don't. If they are late first round, and I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. But that's why I could see Spencer Rattler falling to the 3rd. Because he, while I think he developmentally could become something great, right now he is not on the level of even Michael Penix and Bo Nix. He is on he's on a tier below. Yeah. That's why I could see him falling to the 3rd. But for me, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put Drake May at number 1. Me, personally. I like Drake May better than Caleb Williams. Behind him is Caleb Williams. Then I've got, for me, is J.J. McCarthy. Then Jaden Daniels.
Ooh, wow.
After that is Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Spencer Rattler, and the list goes on to, Michael Pratt and Jordan Travis and a bunch of other guys that their names are going to get called, but I doubt many people will be watching when their names get called.
I mean, it's not a hot take by any means, but Michael Penix is above Bo Nix for me. Michael Penix is going to be something. Yeah, above Bo Nix.
Above Bo Nix. Okay.
Yeah. Michael Penix is my dream. If we get Brock Bowers in the 1st and we come swoop in at the very last second of the 1st round and get a 5th-year option on Michael Penix, that would be like perfect.
It would be like a baby's arm holding an apple for you, Jay.
Yeah, because we get a guaranteed 5 years, and he is a quarterback with injury history that, like, if he falls apart in 4 years, wash our hands and move on. But, like, he's going to be damn good for the next 4
years.
I
don't want that to happen, though, because Sean Payton only has 4 years left on his contract.
Exactly. So he's going to run him into the ground.
Here's the thing. Sean Payton is our best hope of developing our own quarterback that we've had in a very long time.
True.
So I'd really like him to either honestly, I'd love to see it where Sean Payton develops a quarterback to an amazing level and then is here and then they offer him another contract and this guy's our quarterback of the future and they offer him another contract and we get to sit with the two of them for quite a while. But if nothing else, let Sean Payton develop a quarterback for a little while. And then if at the end of this 4 years, he's like, you know what? I was done once. I'm done again. I'm gone. Then at least, just maybe, he developed something for us to lead into the future.
Yeah.
So last question here, because we're actually running 24 minutes over our normal time. Keith asked, picking at 12, what is the most realistic player you would be disappointed if we drafted? Oh, if we picked Bo Nix at 12, I'd be very sad.
Oh, I'd be furious, man.
I'd lose my mind.
Well, okay.
Do we need a quarterback? Yes, we can do.
Let me backtrack.
Yeah.
If that's Sean Payton's guy and he's willing to die on the hill for Bo Nix, then so be it. Look, let the crazy chemist have his guy. I don't care.
He coaches at a mile high, dude. If he goes and drafts Bo Nix or Michael Penix at 12, he may die on a hill. On the side of a foothill, maybe. Haystack Mountain, one of the 14ers. I don't know, but if he picks,
everyone will know it's a reach. But if that's his guy, then I'm not going to knock him for saying, that's my guy.
Well, you may not. I will. I absolutely will knock him. I will do what I always do, because you know how I am. I'll be like, but you're the coach. You're the coach. I'm not. So you do you, boo boo, and I will be. And I hope I don't have to witness. Something terrible.
I'm going to be a lot more mad if we draft another wide receiver at around 12. That's not like, Roma Duzier dropping or like Marvin Harrison Jr. dropping, which is not going to happen.
Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't drop past 5, even though he did it.
Of course not.
Marvin Harrison Jr. goes top 3.
But
that's not even a hot take.
I don't want a Jerry Jeudy repeat. I'm done with all that.
Yeah, you can call the Marvin Harrison Jr. prediction I just made a hot take if you want, but I don't think that's a hot take. He does not make it out of the top 3.
Nah, he's going to be a top 5 pick,
easily. I don't think he makes it out of the top 3, bud.
Well, I don't know about that. I think we're getting 3 quarterbacks. Bam, bam, bam.
Maybe. I think we get 2 quarterbacks and 1 wide receiver. I really do.
See.
But we will. Guess what, guys? We will see in 1 week.
Yep.
So 1 week from tonight. Tonight we completed our this year's 2024 3-round mock draft here on the Orange and Blue Network on the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. We chose cornerback out of Alabama, Terrion Arnold, at pick number 12, and we chose hopefully the quarterback of the Denver Broncos' future, Spencer Rattler, with the 76th overall pick out of South Carolina. Don't know that it'll fall that way to us come next Thursday, but you know what? It was a lot of fun doing this with you, Jay, especially since you will be on a plane next Thursday and unable to actually be live with me while we are going through the first round. Keith says the dark horse you hope we draft is blank.
This is an easy answer, Johnny. Easy answer.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Luke McCaffrey. Let's go. We need a McCaffrey on this team.
Oh, God. Look at you. Look at you picking a McCaffrey because he's a McCaffrey.
He's coming.
If only his name was Manning or Elway, huh? No, it'd be funny. It'd be interesting. It won't happen. It's not happening. Luke McCaffrey's
he's like a 4th round, 5th round guy.
Yeah,
it could happen.
Maybe. I mean, could, I guess. Maybe. I don't think Sean Payton and George Payton, though, are going to be picking for the nostalgia of it all, though.
The owner might. I mean, but hey, if we trade this is my last thought, and then I'm all done. Cortland Sutton for Luke McCaffrey. Let's go.
Whoa. Okay. No. You know what? Go home, Jay. You're drunk.
Hey,
all right.
But that's what you're getting for Court. Sorry to break it to you, Broncos Country, but you're getting a 4th or a 5th for Court.
I know.
That's what it is.
I know. All right. Anyway, guys, this has been the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight as we had fun pretending to draft a new cornerback and a new quarterback for the Denver Broncos. It's been a blast. Do not forget, next week, The show is live on Thursday night. It is a long show because we are going live through the whole first round. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to find whatever we can to talk about. I'm going to try to get some awesome faces in here to be on the show with us, both from Orange and Blue Network. I'm going to try to bring in some folks, maybe Mr. Keith Brugman would love to be on if he's not doing his own show that night. I don't know.
Thank you, sir. Tip of the cap. Appreciate you.
But we will have plenty to talk about, and we will and if we don't have things to talk about, we will find things to talk about. Because that's what we do here on the Orange and Blue Network. Guys, I just got to say it before we get out of here. Go Nuggets! Go Avalanche! The real fight starts this week for both teams.
Where's your daddy?
I mean, and Jay, do you have your broom ready? Because the Nuggets take on the Lakers.
Oh yeah, dude. I
got my broom ready, bud.
8 straight.
Dude, I've got my push broom out and ready for this one. My garage push broom for this one.
Yeah. LeBum has got nothing on us. I can't.
I have so many people at work being like, I don't think the Nuggets can sweep them again. And I'm like, you realize that the Lakers haven't beaten the Nuggets since 2021, right?
Yeah.
Like, at all.
Embarrassing.
So, yeah. So,
it's
Bud, yeah. We got this, Bud. We got this. Meanwhile, who the Avalanche take on in the first round?
Oh, the Winnipeg Jets, which that's a whole different discussion.
That's going to be a fight.
Just thinking about it, I don't like it.
That's going to be a real slobber knocker, Jay.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't either. But you know what? We know what Nate is capable of. We know what Moose is capable of, and Mr. McCarr. And listen, I think they're gonna light it up in the postseason this year. I do.
We'll see. It'll be interesting.
So
I have to put up 6 goals a game.
Go Nuggets, go Avalanche, and hey, go Broncos, baby! If you guys will please get your hands out with me for a big high five. All right, Broncos Country and Orange and Blue crew, thank you, and we will see you next week for the live edition of the show Draft Day. Bye-bye.
You serious, Clark?